uh, submit questions throughout the presentation. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can as we go through. Otherwise, we'll have a question and answer period at the end. Before I begin, I would just like to say that there are 4 key elements that I want you to remember from this presentation. There will be a lot more information that we discuss, but the 4 key elements are project governance, outsourcing project or application support, improving staff development, and project management maturity. So if you keep those 4 thoughts in mind as we go through the presentation, those really are the key themes. So as Wendy mentioned, I've been working in IT for many, many years, and most recently have become much more involved in teaching project management and in particular project sponsorship at Lehigh University. One of the interesting research projects that Computer Aid and I have been working on is to determine the root cause of project failures. And what we have discovered is that lack of senior management support is absolutely number 1. And to address that issue, a colleague and I have put together a class at Lehigh University on executive project sponsorship, based on the premise that unless you have grown up through the ranks as a project manager, you don't understand or don't necessarily know your responsibilities. So that's something we can talk about through the presentation. Wendy has already given you a bit of my background, so I won't spend any more time on that. I would like, however, to if I can go to the next page here. Just very briefly, Computer Aid is a corporation that was founded in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania in 1981 and has grown significantly. Revenue last year was approximately $600 million. We've got more than 4,300 associates on 6 continents and 20 different countries, and our primary focus is in the areas of application development, application support, and management consulting. Any questions about Computer Aid, we can talk about that later on. This map simply gives you an illustration of where in the world Computer Aid has its primary offices. So to get to the agenda for today's presentation, we're first going to talk about what the CIO's responsibilities are, what assets he or she has at their disposal, a little bit about the IT budget and what we've discovered over the years, focus on where you are spending most of your money, and then what can be unlocked from each of the 10 major IT functions that every IT organization is responsible for. Clearly what you can do with those unlocked assets, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about project management, in particular because it's a key element of how you can best leverage or make use of the resources that you have unlocked. So we'll start with the CIO's responsibilities. This diagram is taken directly from a book titled The Strategic CIO. It was authored by a very good friend, a colleague, Phil Weinzimmer, and it was based on his interviewing approximately 150 of the leading leading CIOs across the country, in many cases around the world. And in particular, what Phil learned was that there are 4 levels of a CIO's responsibility. At the bottom level, you have to keep the lights on. You have to keep the applications running, and this is what we refer to as a survival mode. Growing up from there, and in terms of maturity, is the issue of effectiveness, which essentially means ensuring that the IT staff is absolutely trained as best they can be in their own respective technologies, but more importantly is trained in the vocabulary and the actual business of the enterprise, so that the IT folks can speak to the business, can understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, and can best be in a position to help them do that. Beyond that, the CIO would aspire to the level of growing the business, which essentially means what can IT contribute in terms of innovative applications, innovative technologies to enable the business not only to survive and continue as a status quo, but actually to grow. And then finally, the most important and most significant level is where the CIO is literally invited to the table at the highest levels of executive management to transform the business. And this is where IT in particular is able to contribute most to the growth, to the future of a particular business. Now, my assumption is that all of you listening in today are either CIOs or aspiring to be CIOs or are moving up the managerial track in information technology. And so that's where this particular diagram, which we'll refer to in a couple of different ways, is most significant. Now, this is a different way to look at it. I kind of played around with the notion of what CIO stands for, and in this particular case, we go from the bottom to the top. Initially, CIO, as you well know, stood for Chief Information or Chief Infrastructure Officer. And this correlates very directly with Phil's lowest chevron, as he refers to them, which essentially means we keep the lights on. We ensure that applications are secure, that they are functioning, that they're operational, and that they are doing what they were intended to do. Going up the next level, CIO then can stand for Chief Insight or Chief Integration Officer, where we contribute and work with our internal customers so that applications from one department, one silo, can interface or integrate with applications from another and begin to truly add to the organization. Then we climb even higher to the Chief Innovation Officer, where we're making recommendations and contributing to perhaps new business lines, new lines of business that our organization can pursue. And then finally, to the highest level, the Chief Imagination Officer, which in particular is an area that I'm very much involved in. And to me, this is what a CIO really should aspire to. And I'd be curious to get some feedback from you as we go through this. Now, recently, a study was made of several hundred CIOs, and in particular asked them what issues are of most concern to them. And as you can see from this word diagram, there's sort of a hodgepodge of things. Now, we've taken the initiative on your behalf of dividing these things into two categories. The items on the left for execution and technology are things that a CIO simply has to get right. Legacy application support, analytics, customer portals, et cetera, security, obviously. And then the things on the right are the things that the CIO really should be focusing on now in terms of innovation, in terms of staff development, skills shortage, et cetera, and governance. And as I said earlier, we'll be talking about 4 of those as we go through this presentation. Now, it is most important, and this probably is one of the most important slides from the entire presentation. You have to know in...
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also getting complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.